a wonderful day in the journey of World Peace Summit. 18 days of journey. Now we are on a fabulous, fantastic, and most inspiring 16th day. The main objective of this World Peace Summit is we can achieve peace through sustainable development goals. With that objective, we are going ahead. So, coincidentally, the 16th SDG also refers about peace. So, having one day on peace is so great. So, we have today a galaxy of visionaries having their presence on this special day. It's a remarkable. We are honored to have their presence on this special day. All our members are eagerly waiting for their turn to speak. Yes, really, we are eagerly waiting to listen. So before we invite all the chief guests and giving the program to chair of the day, Dr. Anita Raj, I request Professor Dr. Vijay Carlin ma'am, who is the Managing Director of Royal Council. I request Her Excellency to share the introductory remarks of Royal Council. Over to you, Excellency.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the excellencies, global leaders, dignitaries, viewers of this World Peace Summit. A warm welcome to you and namaste from India. I'm Dr. Carlin, Chairman of the Life Foundation, Managing Director of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council. Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council mainly focus on world peace. As we are observing that we are conducting summit on virtual platform in the year 2022 as well in the year 2023. We have addressed many problems of the community on virtually, and we tried our best level to implement physically. We want to attain peace in the minds of the people, and we tried our best level to gain the hearts of the society, especially underprivileged, and we supported them in all aspects, financially, morally. We supported the underprivileged. The works of the Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council is observed by the Government of India, visited the office of Vishwa Humanity, which is located in Hyderabad, and they were much satisfied. And we are looking ahead for the Sustainable Development Goals projects from Government of India to implement effectively, efficiently for the welfare of the underprivileged community. And also, we are looking ahead, and great talks are going on with the international organizations to have good collaborations for the development of underprivileged by providing good infrastructure as well to eradicate poverty at our level. There are two organizations under the umbrella of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council. One, the Telangana Kala Parishad. The other
excuse, there might be a problem. So even though it is 16th day, but still we are feeling it as fresh, because every day our guests, they are invigorating our energy, and we are feeling still it's new. So not only that, the people who are on the flyers of our program, our honorable central ministers, honorable governors, honorable chief ministers, they send their blessings, wishes, messages to our World Peace Summit. So the messages they provided, of course, they are going to be in the place of Savanir, and international visionaries, so many vice chancellors and other eminent people, whoever sent the messages to our Savanir. Really, that's so amazing. That's so inspiring. So even though it is 16th day, we are able to continue that journey with all these excellencies. Then today, really an igniting day, because we are eagerly waiting for the turn. So I would like to invite Dr. Anita Raju ma'am to continue the journey. Over to the Jai.
Thank you, Dr. Rajarao. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the brothers and sisters across the world. It's a special moment for me to welcome our chief guests, our special guests, humanitarians, and the dignitaries that are present today, and also people that are supporting this cause through YouTube or through other social media platforms. I welcome all of you to this wonderful session. Today, it is about SDG 16. As part of World Peace Summit 2023, peace is what we all look for. That's very important. But the definition of peace has changed over many decades now. Earlier, peace was non-violence, having an environment where there is no violence, where you have peace. But today, that's just not good enough. You need to have education for the children. You need to have food for everybody, okay? And there are so many other things that are required, healthcare systems and many other things that are required for us to have peace. So we have our dignitaries here who are going to tell us what are different focus areas that we need to take forward, what are their ideas, and what are critical things that we need to focus upon for us to get ahead in this journey of World Peace Summit. Thanking Vishwa Humanity International Royal Council, Dr. Rajarao Pagdapalli and Vijay Carolyn ma'am for this opportunity. And leading a change like this, first you need to be the change agent. That's what they've been doing. So let's give them a big applause and let's start the session with our special guest that is here. I don't want to keep you waiting, sir. Welcome, Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham, former Vice Chancellor, SV University, UP, and Oriental University, Indore. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anita Raj. Very warm and profound greetings from God's own country, the state of Kerala of India, to all the dignitaries, excellencies, organizers, and my dear audience. Today, as we are told that the Sustainable Development Goal, which has signed by 193 countries, has 17 goals, and today's topic is deliberating. And the 16th one, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Actually, these goals, topic goals, have been grouped into 3 levels, which you might have all come to know over the last 15 days. First is the environmental with the 4 goals. Second is the society with 8 goals. Third is the economical state with the rest of the goals. It aims to achieve this 100% of goals by 2030. If you look at the Social Progress Index, that is SPI, Netherlands is the forerunner, and South African Republic is in the other end. If you talk of India, as on today, it has achieved only 71.1%, happen to be trailing behind our neighboring country, Bangladesh. I take a minute on the recent conflict of Ukraine. It has displaced the country and placed the country on 6th position of maximum internally displaced people, IDP state. Let me concentrate today only on today's topic, which aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. My aim of today to the all-worthy audience is to transform you all into a global citizens. We all can make some differences wherever and whatever we are. Let me give a quote of George Massac. All men by nature equally free and independent, and have certain inherent rights, of which, when they enter the state of society, accountable and when they enter the society, they should be able to have, and they cannot be deprived or divested their posterity, namely the enjoyment for life and liberty, with the means of acquiring and possessing property and pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. This is totally inclusive with what is the ideal state. It's clear from these thoughts that the people everywhere should be free from all forms of violence and feel safe as they go about in their living, whatever their ethnicity, faith, or sexual orientation. I was a resource person for a group of youth called Youth Ambassador for Peace in Asia, in short, YAPA, YAPA, in Thailand for 4 days. All the people, all the youths from all over the Asian countries, including one girl from Pakistan, participated. I have compiled my 4 days lecture into a book, Pilgrimage to Peace, which has been published, and the publisher has put this book as a non-detailed study of one Gujarat University management students. If you talk of the ideal situation of SDG 16, irrespective of the size, strength and weakness, culture, corrupt or just people, poverty or richness of the society, it can be achieved with the combined efforts of good governance, policymakers, educators, law enforcement agencies. They have to focus only on few targets. Before that, if at all you see that, all the situation prevailing in present today situation is shown by Terry George, director of the famous Hotel Rwanda film. The world is yearning for people who can courageously campaign for peace and justice. There cannot be any development in the institutions without love, peace, and justice. In this film, Hotel Rwanda, director features both tribal and religious conflicts, as observed not only in Rwanda, but also in the world all over. So it is mandatory, if you can have a look of it, you will be able to see that ideal situations. I was mentioning the fact that few targets which everybody, every institutions, and every sub-agencies should be able to concentrate are like reduce violence of all types, protect people, especially soft targets like weak, poor, women, and children, strengthen the rule, law, and justice with equality, curb organized crime, illicit flow of finance, drugs, arms, and other biodiversity, avoid corruption and bribery, avoid mafia culture, antiquity trafficking and human trafficking should be curbed, strengthen institutions with a transparent functioning, accountable conduct, and even justice, appropriate decision-making encompassing growth and welfare of all inclusive, strengthen participation of the governance to yield high morale of people, independent and strong legal structures, and finally, right to information. It's so easy to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 16. No, it sounds very easy and simple, but the cancerous elements of corruption, dictatorship, centralization of power, and injustice bring disgruntlement to the people. It evolves strike or violence. Finally, it can erupt into a civil war or conflict. So these elements and actors should be identified. The issue of conflict has become daily news as on today, whether it is shooting, coups, and other destructions, added with including the cyber attacks, are common as on today's news. Racial, color, religious, tribal, political, favoritism, and economic differences, which are the fuel behind the conflicts, are the means and modes of operation also. So it is necessary to identify the actor, identify the space, identify the source, and identify the supporters. It can happen even in a large, democratic, and peace-loving country like India, where the recent unrest of Manipur violence, with many casualties and displacements of citizens. These type of incidences, I have deliberated in my book that peace does not mean absence of conflicts. And the patriotism is not that love of one's country. You may, I am not here because of limitation of time, I'm not deliberating upon. Let me finally come back how an institutions can achieve this Sustainable Development Goal 16 with some proven methods. First, link teams of volunteers and people in society to educate on symptoms of conflict eruptions. Minority, poor, uneducated women and girls are being soft target. Effort to educate and train these soft target through social justice and social science. Next, collate data from all types of exploitations and issued through the citizen generating task team, like what I mentioned, IAPA, Youth Ambassador for Peace in Asia teams. These teams can also do many tasks to provide recommendations on types of initiative, because new generations think differently. So the types of initiative suited for various purposes they can come out with. They can provide guidance on ways of navigating and engaging in various activities to promote peace and justice. They can also offer a platform for people to share their experiences, views, and challenges concerning peace and justice in the society. They are good at analyzing the data, set methods, tools, and resources to assist the institutions to establish a holistic roadmap. Establish a stakeholders' data ecosystem to support this Sustainable Development Goal 60. There should be a consistent effort to train the volunteers, to impart awareness, and basically, above all, to forewarn them on the symptoms and practice resilience on the positive note. To conclude, every conflicts need financial support, manpower, weapon, catalytics of action, and other resources, which are to be identified, and effort should be there to cut the supply source with the support of governance. Culture of martyrdom should be curbed. We can also establish community welfare centers at various levels that could be an ideal platform for care, support, protections, self-development, and peace and justice. Thus, we can strive forward to become and make our institution strong. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Really a great introduction to this program, sir, with your inspiring and motivating speech. Especially the moment you have shown that book, really we feel that we are blessed. The book is so wonderful, sir. But just for seeing, if we go through it, then I think we may get so much of knowledge about peace. Here today, the topic is peace, justice, and strong institutions. We have justice here and strong institution here in the form of you, sir. And peace also completed because you are with a military background. So we are thinking that actually there is war, but you are radiating such a peace, the vibrations of peace around us while you are speaking. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Such grace.
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you to the organization, ma'am, Caroline ma'am, and Dr. Rajarao for inviting me for this event. I will look forward and strive forward to contribute you for the rest of my life.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We are honored. Professor Dr. Vijay Kalle, ma'am, few words from you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't attend because of the power cut. I missed a lot of points, but at the end, I joined and I heard your message. It is so inspiring and insightful. Definitely, it brings a great vibration. Wherever you are surrounded with great vibration, and the platform will be more jubilant. What I observed, what you said is right. Peace starts within us, and we have to spread peace among our community and the surroundings. The way we live, the way we lead the life, that has to spread peace. A lot of jealousy, egoism, dominance, these are prevailing on the earth and creating lot of havoc in the minds of the people. And this is dominating the life of the people, and they're ruining their neighbors. So peace, justice, as we know that there are certain community who do not know what is meant by justice. They will be oppressed. So what you said is right, sir. There should be good institutions, awareness programs to be conducted to bring in the minds of the community that we are all equal and we are human beings. Peace should be in the minds of us, that definitely the peace prevails on the earth and total globe will be great peace. Thank you very much, sir, for being
Thank you, ma'am. You have missed this book, which I written, Pilgrimage to Peace. If you can send me your address, I'll be able to post it physically.
Great honor, sir. Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, Anjaraj, ma'am.
Thank you. Sir, it was amazing to hear you talk about the very, very important aspect of the thought as a global citizen. That is the first context, I mean, right, which really gives you a larger openness to the world and not just restricting yourself, dividing yourself into small groups. That is the first key message that we've taken from you today. And apart from that, You also covered the vulnerable groups who are being exploited and how do we identify them and get them prepared. And also you talked about the data that needs to be collected, okay, so that when we know the problem that is half resolved. You talked about the solutioning as well and the roadmap and who can contribute to this, how to initiate this with the volunteering group. So thank you so much. Every key point that you said today matters a lot to us, and all of us have taken it. Many people have already started sharing in the chat that your speech has been inspiring to them. Thank you so much for being present here, sir. And we wish you continue to join Royal Council's sessions in the future too. On that note, and with a very, very big gratitude, I move on to our next chief guest, Veronica Seban from Netherlands, CEO, owner. She is a multiple award winner, motivational global speaker, founder of Business Power Academy, global talk show, multidisciplinary award winning conferences and elite global leadership club, and the tourism health franchise Astra. Over to you, Veronica.
Her Excellency Veronica ji, can you please switch on your camera? Hello. Excellency is there, but not switching on her camera. So there might be some problem. Okay, I'll follow it up, Excellency. Will you please move to next guest?
Sure, I'll do that. Over to our next guest, Dr. Maria Ayan from USA, General Director for Elite Global Leadership Club, and Align Your Soul's Purpose and Excel in All Dynamics. Over to you.
Okay, so a lovely evening in India. Here it's still daytime. I thought I'd speak about the theoretical background of my training coaching, which I am currently conducting at Elite Global Leadership Club. So some of what I'll say is a little theoretical, but I think most people may see my point. Now, the most important asset of a nation, right, or a group of people or a society are its people, right, the civilian population. And when the civilian population don't do well, mostly I define that in terms of physical health, from which then the cognitive health derives. It is not possible to have a just, inclusive, or peaceful society, right? So I want to repeat that. When the people, the civilian population is not functioning to its fullest potential in terms of primarily its physical health, but then from which derives the cognitive health, it is not possible to have a just, inclusive, or peaceful society. It's very important to point out that it is human beings, individuals, decision makers, right, that make up the institutions. It's human beings, it's decision makers that make the decisions that define an institution. And what you can often observe in a society is when there is the attitude of pushing things onto institutions, institutions, politics will deal with it. The more defective or the more unwell the civilian population can be. So you can have societies, as we have many today globally, where we've got this perfection, this greatness, this marvel, like we got these great institutions that function also perfectly. But because the assets of the society, which is its people, the civilian population, is not functioning too well, the society does not really work. And you need just one small thing. I'm going to give COVID as an example. People are going to say COVID was not a small thing. It was a huge tragedy, right? However, all that COVID really is, it's only a virus, and a virus is, to a significant extent made up of that matter. So, this tiny thing, which is only a virus, has disabled entire nations and led to some great poverty, to disastrously functioning healthcare systems, to public health measures that were not prepared at all, even though on the surface, we had these, great people who were not better informed, obviously all thought we had these great functioning institutions. Now, in a more or less normally, healthily functioning human being, when a virus strikes, what happens is the human ability to self-heal, to heal him or herself is activated, right? However, today we are living in a world where that human ability to self-heal has been completely ignored, has not been supported, and is largely, has largely been deactivated as a human potential. And that is why COVID was so successful. So what results is, underneath all this emphasis we have on institutions that govern civil societies, on political processes, right? We have, horrific amounts of human suffering, while at the same time there's an attitude, it's the great institutions that will solve our problems. We can have some very abstract definitions of what justice is, and as anybody who is in academia will be familiar with, several at least definitions of what justice is. But those are conceptions projected by decision makers who are individual human beings in an institution, and more often than not, they are defined to uphold the power structure of the institution, even though there are some examples, right? So why do we emphasize, there are some exceptions to that, but I'm speaking, in general terms, what can often be observed. So why do we emphasize accountability and personal development? Because we want to develop human assets. Now, what keeps our bodies together and working is the exchange of our biological energy at a cellular level with the cycles that are in nature, because our cellular energy is, in constant activity, constant exchange with patterns in nature. And by this we mean the change of seasons, various weather patterns, the quality of the soil, the quality of the food, activities in the galaxies, many things. And already we see a big problem because institutions who are man-made are not a part of nature, right? So I'm not a social revolutionary. I'm not saying that people have to destroy institutions or completely overthrow forms of government in order to be healthy. Now, in my trainings, I look at optimizing the energy patterns, which means optimizing their harmonious functioning so that our minds can make decisions from the highest cognitive level, since everything is connected, right? So that also means actualizing our self-healing ability, reactualizing that, which has been, ignored for many decades and is very inactive. Just the healthcare system that we are in does not promote, activating or supporting our self-healing ability. So that has resulted in us, operating not from our highest cognitive level, but according to mostly mass hypnosis. I know that's a technical term, but there's mass hypnosis by various medical terms and definitions that's used in the media and by institutions, which encourages us to discount, to forget, and to ignore our self-healing ability. And such mass hypnosis can even trigger the very medical conditions, right, that are described in its processes and make people sick who really otherwise would be healthy. So to understand our highest cognitive level functioning and self-healing, they're both very closely connected. There are several very important principles, right, that we have to know about. Maybe the most important we have to understand is that of energy driven by emotions. So how is that? is because emotions are the vibrations of frequencies of our energy, our cellular energy patterns. So emotions are not something that happen to us, right? It is something that we create. Our emotions are basically our decisions. Now you can think about your problems and experience the exact same emotions as if the event that you are thinking about is occurring right now. That's because you have decided on that specific emotion, right? So this is crucially important, right? We humans, we can think about our problems. Right now, anybody can do that and experience the exact same emotion as if that event is occurring right now. And that event may never have occurred and may also never really occur at any point in the future. But we can still experience it as if it is occurring right now. However, at the same time, today, cognitive science knows that our perceptions and even our cellular functions are neutral, very important. And until we make it into something, you know, each moment is a blank sheet awaiting our command. So we can command ourselves to some very unproductive behavior. So that's why we need to have the right training, because when I say command, I don't mean some totalitarian, tyrannical, absolutist, domineering statement where we have to order ourselves to do a certain thing. That's not what's meant by it, right? Just to, again, describe more how extremely important emotions are to us as human beings, we can turn on emotions by thought alone, by deciding on having them, right? So we can actually become addicted to our own thoughts. And that's because emotions create chemicals in our bodies, again, because they are associated to energy vibrations, which involve many chemical interactions, and they are the foundation of our life. And because emotions create chemicals in our bodies, we can become addicted to the chemicals, right? So each one of us has many addictions inside of our bodies right now that govern our life without that we know it. And just to give an example, so we get up in the morning with these chemicals in our bodies, and let's say we are addicted to anxiety. Now, anxiety is a very easy thing to become addicted to. And I would even say that it is natural for us to be addicted to anxiety. So when we wake up, we feel okay, right? Because we just woke up. But subconsciously, we experience the state of being okay as unusual, right? And many people, even the most enlightened among us, have a problem experiencing silence. By that, I mean real silence. I don't mean silence that you can have by any meditation. So we are uncomfortable with this. We are addicted to anxiety, uncomfortable to the moment of silence. And we start looking for the next best thing that will then satisfy that need we have, you know, that addiction to feed our anxiety. So already at the start of the day, we're looking, where's the next best thing that causes us anxiety? Because we need that in order to function. So some high-level decision makers, not all, some, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I'm just giving this as an example, some high-level decision makers know, including companies who sell us products, they know that. And which is why we are served many products and services that gratify our addiction to anxiety. And it goes so far as that most food items actually that we are presented with in supermarkets and restaurants, we do not need those in order to be healthy. Okay, so as opposed to that, we have our other innate self, which is the one of clarity and creation. So we human beings, according to current cognitive science, have two forces at work within us. One is this more or less downward and very stagnant spiral of living in a fake world that is made up of our addictions to various emotions that do not work out well for us. And the other is our drive for clarity and creation. Now, anxiety, again, plays a very important role in this, and it's actually very natural for us humans to experience anxiety, because for every second of our life, as long as we are in this physical body on this planet, this conflict is reduced to and reflected in very elemental cellular processes that we are processing constantly. So we are sort of fundamentally biologically constituted to be very anxious creations. That's what keeps us alive. And death is also very closely related to that, right? And that's a huge topic on its own. So what we have to do is train the mode of operation of our subconscious so we can use this conflict in which we exist for us and not against us. And that's highly relevant for the creators among us, since it is a truth due to our biological makeup that unless we are properly trained, the more we excel at creation, the more our psyche also clamps up and closes down. Right? The great and beautiful souls have many nails hammered into that soul. Highly talented people have a problem with suicidal and self-destructive behavior. It can be very predictable. And today's politicians, decision makers, do not have necessarily that knowledge about how people work when they are called upon to govern a society. So that is just the background and very general theoretical outline of my work. You can't escape from yourself, right? You can only learn how to work with yourself. So this is my message that I am very passionate about because I've seen it work. I've seen my theory, my training work in practice much better than some other self-help programs that are out there. So I thank you very much for the opportunity for presenting on this platform.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. You are so amazing. Recently, we had an interaction for 2 hours, but I didn't see you as a speaker, as a motivator. But on that day, I perceived you as an administrator or a leader. But today, you are completely, entirely different, Excellency. I felt very happy you have such a great, because the title is Align Your Souls. But you have proved why it is aligned with our souls. So such a great justification to the title. Really, actually, we are doing the journey to space, oceans. We are doing all the things, but you have been insisting in going into deeper insight to us. So insight to our minds, where we can find the peace. Thank you so much for including meditation. And that's such a great gesture. Thank you. So in any aspects, you have done a fantastic and fabulous job. We really, truly, we feel honored, Excellency. I request Professor Dr. B.J. Caroline ma'am to say thanks to our Excellency Dr. Maria.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us. What you said is right. Individual peace is very important. If man or women, if they are not peaceful in the heart, definitely that will act wildly. And that's what we see. We see many fights in US where they are not really culprits or done some mistake or any rivalry, nothing. They're unknown, strangers, they're fighting. Why? Because they have a lot of unrest in the minds. That peace is not there because of the loss of peace. They were unable to tap up the energies and control their emotions. They are becoming wild and killing many. So as you said is right, ma'am, war conflicts will be there in the borders and many areas. But the peace, if person is losing, individual person is losing, that will create a lot of havoc, darkness, chaos in the society. Definitely, the man will be in a devastating state. and human beings will be in a worse situation where unable to control their family members and attain peace. As you said, is right meditation, knowing about their energy levels, subconscious mind, the role of conscious minds are very important. As you said, we have good hormones, dopamines, and serotonin, endorphin. So if they know these hormones, how they play, so if they only, these hormones will be developed in the mind, in the body, in our body, only through meditation and proper breathing exercises. When they know themselves who they are, definitely they understand the pathetic situation or the bad thoughts which are going in their mind. They can control themselves and be an individual with great humanity. So that's what we need to understand. Such awareness programs are very much required, ma'am. Even in India, we notice just if they fail in one subject or get less marks, we find that children are committing suicide and they're leaving their parents in devastating state because they're unable to understand the importance of life, and they are falling prey to depression and taking up the action within fraction of seconds. So this enlightening the mind and the soul is very important. Such awareness programs are important where we can help people to lead a peaceful life, and definitely our globe will be with great peace. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the inspiring message. Definitely, we take up your message into our hearts and see that will be implemented physically at our level, in our place. So that if we transform one family, definitely 100 families will be protected from the depressed people. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us and enlightening us.
Thanks for the
So
comment.
over to Dr. Anita Raj, ma'am. You have to convince our Veronica Seban, ma'am, in a way she has to switch on her cam and come out. So
Sure.
over to you, Anita Raj, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And first of all, no, before I move to the next guest, I'd like to thank Dr. Maria and for her wonderful coverage of topics around physical health and cognitive health. And if there is no peace, you're not able to make peace within this, okay, you can't make peace around. So that's a very key message that you had shared. And you had also talked about the human ability to self-heal, how we are slowly losing that, and we are not realizing that potential that each of us has. Okay, which can heal us, and then we can also help the people around us. So that's one important aspect that you covered. And also you talked about optimizing the energy patterns that enables decision making as well. So we'd like to really, have an independent session where you can talk about that and those patterns as such, how one can identify that and improvise on that.
Okay.
And and you've also talked about the conspiracy theories and the drive of clarity that one should have. And overall, if I can summarize it, all you're saying is conduct yourself with high level of consciousness. If there is high level of consciousness, and if you act and think with that, anything that you do would be beautiful for your own life and to people around. There's also, thank you so much. And on the similar lines, there is one more global influencer that says, if you're alone and if you don't feel good or comfortable, you're in a bad company. You can feel, right, about it when you're with other people, but when you're with your own self, and if you feel you're in a bad company, that is very dangerous. So that is what I could, right, that was resonating in my mind when you were talking about it. Thank you so much for your wonderful gist. And I would say that the shots that you gave us, that's going to help us think through and conduct ourselves well. Thank you so much. And over to our next guest. I hope our guest, Veronica Seban from Netherlands, is available to talk to us. Ma'am, are you there?
I sent her a text message. She's not responding.
Okay, Excellency, please invite the next guest. There might be some problem.
Sure.
We'll join.
Sure.
Can you hear me? I'm audible.
Oh, yes.
Yes, you are. You are.
Yes. I am so sorry. So for the delay, my camera is turning off. I don't know what's the reason.
Excellency, you just please take time and you can join a bit later. Meanwhile, we'll continue. No problem. Excellency. You take your time, okay?
Okay, thank you
Anita
so
Raju
much.
ma'am, please invite the next guest.
Sure.
Ma'am will join a bit later.
Sure.
Please exit and you rejoin, Excellency, so that camera will work. Because you are the celebrity guest today. So your video is very important. Anita Raju ma'am.
Yes, and let me call upon our next guest, Honorable David Ram John, and who is the CEO of Algitinal Technologies and also Global Head of KT. So over to you, sir.
Sir David Ramjan, sir.
He was pretty much there until a few minutes ago.
Is there David Ramjan, sir? Okay, please invite the next guest, Das, Dr. Das.
Yeah. Dr. R.K. Das, founder of RKDX Talks, chief editor of RKDX Times, and producer of RKDX News Channel. So it's an honor for us to have you here with us, sir. Over to you.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Yes. Very good evening, and I really appreciate Mr. Rao for conducting a nice initiative. And yes, I believe that the topic that we are, talking is very, very in need. Rather, we call it like, see, goal 16. I just want to say a few lines on this. Like, we promote, just peaceful and inclusive societies. See, everyone has a different perception, and everyone find it that peaceful means it can be from inside, it can be external source. So our main SDG is promoting peaceful and inclusive societies. When I say this, providing access to justice for all and building effective, accountable and inclusive institutions at all levels. I also like to stress one more thing. There should be a place, rather a country where there should be free to visit without any distraction, without any business motive, just to promote the society as a whole. And this we can achieve if we all take it as one goal, that is the global goal. And we have to maintain that peace, which is very, very necessary. High levels, you can talk about high levels of armed violence and insecurity have a, destructive impact on a country's development. That I also feel we have like sexual violence, crime, exploitations, and tortures are prevalent where there is conflict or no rule of law. Governments, yes, civil societies and communities need to work together to find lasting solution to conflict and insecurities. And that should be global, not only on a particular country, it should be global. Strengthening the rule of law and promoting human highlight is the key to process. Everyone agreed with me also, this one, as is reducing the flow of, illicit arms, combating corruptions, and ensuring inclusive participation at all times. And we have many facts and figures, no doubt. We have many facts and figures. I just want to say some which I have seen from the internet itself. As of May 2022, the number of people forced to flee conflict, violence, human rights violations, and persecutions had suppressed 100 million. That is really a serious thing that we have to take into consideration. In 2021 alone, 320 fatal attacks against human rights defender, journalists, and trade unionists are recorded in 35. So we have many kind of like situation problem that arises, but our motive is what it matters is just peace, justice, and strong institutions. And we have to keep this in mind when we take everyone as a brotherhood and try to solve the problems of every societies, countries, and global as a whole. So I really enjoyed the session that has been said by our fellow guest speaker, and I really enjoyed today's session. So I really want to thanks sir for giving me a chance, and I wish everyone a very good session ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My regards to you all. Yes,
Sir Rajman, please continue. Dear Das sir, thank you for this wonderful speech, and thank you for joining. And
Rajarao sir, thank you so much, and you are doing just a fantabulous work, sir. I'm grateful to you. Thank you so much.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Anita Rajman, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. R.K. Das, for reiterating the institutions and what we have to do in that regard. And on that note, let me move on to the next guest, Honorable David Ramjohn, sir. He is the CEO of Algiternal Technologies and also Global Head of Sustainability at KET. Over to you, sir.
Hello, good morning. It's morning where I am. I know it's nighttime in India, and happy to join you all. Thank you for being invited. Thank you to the organizers, the sponsors, and everyone who's participated over the last 16 days and will over the next 2 days. I'm David Ramjohn. I've got a presentation that I'd like to share with you on the topic. So let's get into that. If my
Yes,
technology works.
Yes, you can share it. Now you are co-host.
All right. Are you seeing my screen now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We can see.
Minimize my own. There we go. So I follow the eminent dignitaries who've spoken before, and hopefully I'll add something useful to the conversation. But I start with a core concept. At the heart of all 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we are the problem. Humans are the problem. With our greed, with our selfishness, with our tribalism, with our artificial constructs that divide us, we've caused many of the problems that we're trying to solve, one way or the other. So goal 16 is well established. I'm not going to go through this. We're all talking about peaceful, inclusive societies, access to justice, and so on. So how did we get here, and how do we fix the problems? That's what I'm going to focus on. In my own terms and my own perspectives, this is where I see us as being and where we need to be. So what prevents us from having peaceful and inclusive societies, providing access to justice for all, and building effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels? I will play for you a bit of Bob Marley, and one of my favorite songs of his, which is actually based on a speech that was given by Emperor Haile Selassie in 1963 to the United Nations General Assembly, long before the Sustainable Development Goals were ever developed. And let's see if we can get this to work.
So in case you're playing a song, we're not able to hear the audio.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
In case you're playing a song, we're not able to hear the audio. We're able to only see the visuals here.
Oh, okay. I'm sure there's a way to do that. But anyway, the link is there. And if you listen to the lyrics on this particular song, you will begin to understand that the inequalities that exist and cause the problems that we're trying to solve with Goal 16 are inequalities that have existed for a long time and came about through a specific route. So our Goal 16 targets are laid out. You can find these anywhere on the web and at the UN website. But there are 12 specific targets. And they're all laid out. But it's interesting that in the recent report by the UN on the SDGs, the progress chart in 2022 only reports on 3 targets. So we have 12 targets, but only 3 with progress reporting. So we're missing quite a few on a global scale. And if you look at what's happening, only 3 of them are in the green. And the rest are in amber or red, so not doing very well. So 17 goals were adopted by all UN member states in 2015. There was a 15-year plan to achieve the goals, and yet we are nowhere near. And this is coming from a press release where the UN Secretary General himself said, halfway to the deadline for the 2030 agenda, we are leaving more than half the world behind. We have stalled or gone into reverse on more than 30% of the SDGs. Unless we act now, the 2030 agenda will become an epitaph for a world that might have been. The report shows that extreme poverty, the number of people living in extreme poverty is higher than it was 4 years ago. Hunger has increased and is now back at 2005 levels. And gender equality is some 300 years away. I don't know how they quantify that, but it's interesting to see that number. But it is important to note that inequalities are at a record high and growing. While just 26 people have the same wealth as half of the world's population. And I emphasize that part of the report. 26 people, 26 individuals on planet Earth have the same wealth as half of the world's population. I'm sure we can all think of a few of those 26 off the top of our heads. According to Oxfam International, today's economic models have failed the world. Flawed and sexist, they have concentrated power in the hands of a few at the expense of the world's poorest and most marginalized. They have exacerbated a climate crisis that is destroying millions of lives and livelihoods. They have sustained multiple and interlinked forms of inequality that are the root cause of poverty and injustice. So inequality, unequal distribution of resources, wealth, it's what's gotten us here. The inequalities that drive poverty and injustice are complex and multidimensional. They are created and sustained by unjust, deeply entrenched, and interacting systems, such as patriarchy, sexism, caste, and racism that can affect anyone, anywhere. So let us ask ourselves a question: who is in control? Who controls the institutions responsible for peace and justice, whether they be at regional, national, or global scales? Who controls the arms of governments that are responsible for safety and security of citizens? Who can influence the development of public policy, regulations, tariff and non-tariff barriers to trade to protect their interests and their control. Who controls global wealth and the distribution of wealth and resources? Who controls the outcome of national elections? Is it voters voting on principles? Voters voting party lines that favor them? Financiers and elites? Who controls the outcome? We'd like to think that democracy works, but it often doesn't. So how did these people get control? How did these groups get control? We have to go back in history to understand, and it changes over time. The major causes of inequality, and inequality in terms of wealth, natural resources, power, education, technological advancements, there are various types of inequality. There's energy poverty, you name it. But there are two major sources that I can pinpoint. And one of them was the colonization of weaker nations and the appropriation of wealth and resources, that being both human and natural capital, from the colonized nations. And then there's what we call the privatization of profit and the socialization of losses. And governments do it, major corporations do it, and it all leads to the concentration of wealth and increasing economic, technological, educational, and the power divide. Some examples are the government bailouts using taxpayer dollars of so-called too big to fail entities. So they keep their profits, but they are buoyed up by the money from public coffers. And the corporations who do not pay the true cost of the natural capital on which they rely, they externalize the costs of doing business. And the true cost, which is an organization that has done studies on this, they have recently published the 100 top externalities of business. And they're basically saying that none of the major corporations would be profitable if they were to internalize those costs. So the damage that we do, the resources that we exploit, we're not paying for it. And these corporations are not paying for it. So how do we fix the problems? The systems that exist, which cause inequality and inequity. So there's equality and there's equity. They're two different concepts and should not be used interchangeably, but they have to be dealt with. These systems were created and legislated largely by those who now have control. In other words, you get to a position of power and you influence the systems and the laws to ensure that those laws and systems and policies favor your continued control. And those in control are not likely to give up control or change the systems so that their control can be diminished or lost. It's simple human nature. It is us, we humans, who are the problem. And we must be realistic, we must be honest with ourselves. And given the opportunity to be the colonizer or to be the corporation executive or the oligarch, most of us, and I say most of us, would fall into the same behaviors and patterns that cause us to be where we are right now. It's an honest reflection. It's something we have to look in the mirror and face up to. We all want betterment for ourselves and our families and our loved ones, and often we'll do it at the expense of somebody else. And it is those simple things that have led to the inequalities that we now see on a global scale. So only through conscious thought, determined actions, and honest, genuine desire to have true equality and equity in all transactions and relationships in every society, will we ever achieve goal 16 or any of the sustainable development goals. So at the same time that I say humans are the problem, I say that humans must be the solution. We must turn to regenerative rather than linear economic practices. We must mimic nature. Nature doesn't use more than is necessary. Everything on this planet is recycled. It's only a matter of time. Biomimicry has to be at the core of achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. But it is humans who have to do it. It is humans and the management of humans that exploit the resources that will see the change. We cannot manage a natural resource without managing the human aspect of exploitation of those resources. We must be fair to each other. We must be transparent in everything we do. And we must focus on the ideas of equality and equity. This is not exhaustive, of course, but you get the concept. We are the problem, but we can and must be the solution. So my closing thoughts are these. From the Mahatma himself, there is enough on earth for everybody's need, but not enough for everybody's greed. And the final thought from Alexander Fraser Tytler. A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. These are sobering thoughts, but it's not anything that we all don't know and haven't thought about. So it's up to us, you and me, and everyone here, and the lives that we can touch and influence. It is us who must make the difference to achieve Goal 16 and all of the other Sustainable Development Goals. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity. I will pass over now to the moderator.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So amazing and wonderful. Just 1 minute. We are bringing all our. Really, it's so amazing, sir. The first one is having your presence. You have accepted our invitation the moment we know that, because we have been thinking of searching for people who are working on sustainability. We have seen your work that you are doing towards sustainability. We felt very happy the moment you have accepted. And we know that this would come because you have taken all these three: peace, justice, and strong institutions, which are very crucial for the welfare of oppressed and downtrodden people. And you have given the conflicts. At the same time, you have found solutions. So thank you so much, sir, for giving such a beautiful interpretation on Sustainable Development Goal 16. We are so much honored, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Anjaraj ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable David, sir. The kind of details that you gave us, you kept poking us a lot today. When you kept saying about people, it was hitting us very hard because we are part of that as well. We'll do everything that's possible to make it work in the long run. And you talked about the concentrated power in the hands of a few, which is also one of the sub points and the guidelines given in the Goal 16 as well. So where it has to be even people from the minorities or the developing nation should be part of the committee. And you spoke about the gender equality, which was really scary, where we are 300 years away, and all the research artifacts that you gave, where it is really, really far-fetched. So, and who is in control? Every question of yours, okay, was really thought-provoking. And how nicely you closed it with the need and great statement of Mahatma Gandhi, and also your last statement of how, right, the power of oath, okay, and how wisely we need to use that, okay, to choose the right leader. So thank you so much. It's an honor for us to have you with us today. And on that note, I'll move on to our next speaker.
One second, Excellency. 1 second. We have to give some great introduction to Her Excellency, because in spite of some technical problems, in spite of some time delay, in spite of her hectic schedule, she has spent her time with us. So thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much for joining. So I requested her, even if it is a late, you must be there and you must be visible to all our guests. That's what I said. And Her Excellency has obliged that. And thank you for gracing the event. I request Dr. Antaraju ma'am give a great introduction, because she is not just a leader, but she is the global leader who is nurturing, who is on her journey to make great global leaders. So having Her Excellency's presence on this World Peace Summit is an honor to us. Over to you, Antaraju.
Thank you, sir. So, as he already, gave a very big prelude about our guest. She is the CEO, owner, and she's a multiple awards winner, motivational global speaker, founder of Business Power Academy, global talk shows, multidisciplinary award-winning conferences, and elite global leadership club. We already know how Dr. Maria Ian had shared with us her beautiful insights, and she's also part of the same leadership club as well, and the tourism health franchise Astra. Over to you, and we are waiting eagerly to hear you speak. Thank you so much. We are not able to hear you.
Audible? I am audible now?
You're audible now, yes.
Warm greetings, honorable organizers and guests. So it's a huge privilege to having me on this World Peace Summit, where we are together with real global leaders to create solutions and as well to implement them and to make this world a better place. So, and I believe that the mission of a real leader is properly to create solutions and to implement them in the society, in the institutions as well. For those who don't know me yet, I'm as well an expert in human mind and behavior. So I really love to discover and to study the way of thinking of the people and their behavior. And that's why today I have decided to choose extremely important topic that we should, in my opinion, integrate in the education by institutions in general. Because this is gonna make a huge difference leading countries, so leading even governments, educating children, and to teach them what does mean self-knowledge, what does mean personal development. Because when we know ourselves personally, when we are aware of how do we function as a human being, so we are creating a simultaneously peace of mind and soul. So, and because today's topic is related to peace and generally around the world, first of all, to create peace in the world, we need to educate leaders. And those leaders, so we can educate even in the governments. My experience has shown me that even leaders with a very high social position, they not always have enough knowledge in personal development or even in the leadership, despite the fact that they are leaders or that they are leading the world. And to create also education opportunities for real global leaders, I have created the Elite Global Leadership Club, which is gonna be, or it is already, so an online leadership educational platform, so in all over the world. We are present actually in India as well, so in the United States, in Dubai, Australia, Canada. And it's gonna be an excellent method of education, especially when we are gonna organize different physical events in collaboration as well with the governments, because that's also our intention. I'm proposing as well to implement the SMART formula in the education. What does it mean? So what is the definition of SMART formula? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So a specific, it means clearly defining the sustainability goals and objectives for personal development in institutions in general, not only so on our Elite Global Leadership Club platform, identifying the specific areas of sustainability that individuals should focus on, such as energy conservation, waste reduction, or sustainable procurement. Ensure that the goals are specific and tailored to the roles and responsibilities of individuals within the institutions. And one example is increasing energy efficiency in the office by reducing energy consumptions, for example, by 10% within the next 6 months. Measurable, so defines metrics or indicators to measure progress and success. Establishing a baseline measurement to track improvements over time. Identifying as well key performance indicators that align with the sustainability goals and can be qualified to track. Another example related to measurable formula is monitoring and track monthly. So the energy consumption and the time that we are investing in our life. So in this alinea, I want to mention that there must be paid more attention at the time that we are spending for our personal development and for our growth as well as leaders. And achievable, so ensuring that the sustainability goals are realistic and attainable for individuals, considering as well available resources like skills and capabilities when setting the goals. So setting goals in institutions and teaching them, so the definition of leadership and the significance, how important is the leadership in general, because in the standard institutions like universities, academies, I mean governmental institutions, educational institutions, it's not taught what the definition of leadership, or self-awareness is as well not taught, which is crucial for every single global leader, having awareness of self-discipline, and building up healthy relationships, having as well and showing a healthy attitude towards everything what we are doing. And especially when it comes to building up relationships, even between countries, so between institutions, it's extremely important without aggressivity, and being aware as well of the goals that we really are willing to achieve from all point of views, economical, financial, in terms of resources as well and comfort. Because if we really are willing to create comfort for the society, yeah, we need education. We need the basic resources that we are really missing. And when it comes about personal development, so I'm referring this message to all the global leaders, yeah, that there is a huge lack of personal development and awareness, yeah, in terms of how do we really act, what is our real intention of achieving those goals and implementing the right plan of action. So very often it's missing as well a plan of action for growth, for example, or for personal development, for financial growth. Like, so here in the Netherlands, everything is structured very well, so incredibly. And that's why, so when we are having a conversation with a child of age of 10, so the personal development level, it's on an incredibly high level. So we are probably, I must say, amazed because of the awareness and how pragmatic is the society here in the Netherlands. And I think that this type of education of leaders and personal development to create peace, so we need to implement as well in the government and institutions. Because without personal development, we cannot educate real leaders, and that they are aware as well about their own actions, about their own behavior or attitude as well. And so now I would love to continue with the fourth aspect of the SMART formula, which is called relevance. So aligning of personal development goals with the overall sustainability objectives of the institutions, ensuring that the goals are relevant to the individual's role and responsibilities within the institutions as well, and considering the broader environmental, social, and economic impact of the personal development goals, which in my opinion is the most important, yeah. Because I have traveled the world around, I visited almost 40 countries, and based on my personal experience, I concluded, yeah, that personal development and leadership platforms are missing in terms of education, like in many countries around the world. And so now let's switch to the time-bound SMART formula, setting a specific time frame and deadlines for achieving the personal development goals is crucial. Yeah. In terms of education, or especially when it comes to educate real leaders. And if we really want to educate real leaders in institutions, then we have to take care of our young generation. Yeah, so primary schools. And I know that in the primary schools, so is missing as well the personal development, which is actually the basis. You know, this is the basis of every single human being, and creating the ability to function in a very healthy way. And yeah, starting with building up a healthy relationship with ourselves. Because if we are missing the basis and we don't have the ability from our childhood to build up a healthy relationship with ourselves, so we cannot educate real leaders with a high awareness level or consciousness level. And yeah, breaking down the long-term goals into short-term milestones to maintain focus and motivation for the children, in my opinion, it's also extremely important. And teaching them, yeah, the significance of the time as well, and of the personal development education, regularly reviews, progressing and adjusting timelines, if necessarily, of course. And by applying the SMART formula in institutions can ensure that personal development efforts for sustainability are well defined, so measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So this approach provides total clarity, accountability, and this is also a roadmap for individuals to contribute to sustainable development within the institutions. And by the same way, I want to mention that we are constructing as well, so everything on our Elite Global Leadership Club platform, online education, but we will implement as well, so the physical education, so regarding the leadership. This was my message for today, and in my opinion, this is very relevant for all the countries, not only for India or another countries which are having a huge lack of leadership and personal development, with the purpose to create peace, yeah, and the human rights, because the human rights are also based on a healthy peace of mind and soul in generally in the society.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. That's so amazing. That's a journey. Whatever you have spoken today is a journey from beginning to end. We traveled with your flow. Really, it's enthralled us. There is a spell, or words in your presence, in that charisma. So having that grace, today program, it's a special bonus to us. And a few months back, I happened to meet Her Excellency Veronica Sabanman in a TV show. So on that day, I felt very happy just by seeing her presence. I didn't speak to her on that day, but I interacted with the TV host. But anyway, the program went well. And I have been thinking of a day. And recently, I got an opportunity to talk with Her Excellency nearly 2 hours. But it looks very, it seems to be, it ended in 5 minutes. Really, actually, I took that opportunity to have some interaction with Her Excellency. A collaboration, it's a second part, but I wanted to interact with her first, because I went through her life journey, the struggles she faced as a mother she nurtured, and the challenges she overcame, and the vision she has to nurture millions of youth leaders, that to global leaders. Really, that's so amazing. So really, people like Veronica, Her Excellency Veronica Saban, really do the greater good to society in establishing peace. Such a way, I felt very happy. And today is something like a dream come true, because we are hosting Her Excellency. Today we have 4 pillars. Okay, after our feedback session, we'll say vote of thanks, because we invite second session. Meanwhile, I invite Professor Dr. Vijay Kalinam to share a few words. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Excellency, for being with us. We are very much delighted the way you spoke about the personality development, as we all also feel that the nurturing of the skills and the nature attitude has to start from childhood. So the primary schools, taking up primary schools for the development of personality development especially. Nowadays, younger children do not know how to behave in the society, how to talk to the elders. We find as a teaching profession, we notice children that they do not know to behave with their fellow students and with the faculty. So something is lacking. So earlier, if you see our parents, the way they taught us, the teachers, so many skills and the behavior attitude, they used to teach us in the class. But now there are no moral education in the schools, no personality development classes in the school. Everyone are busy. Faculty, parents, both are busy only focusing on the percentage. How much percentage you scored? What is the grade you scored? What is the knowledge they gained? They're no one bothered. Just they focus on the percentage and the score and the development. You need to be in great heights. You need to take this profession. So this is making children in lot of depression because their designs which they have, they want to achieve it. But teachers and parents are putting pressure. So this is creating a kind of depression in the minds and they're losing the patience, and that is creating a lot of havoc in the society. So that is important. Personality development classes are very important. It has to be taken from childhood, that is from lower classes. And then that they will be nurtured, that will be carried throughout their life. Definitely we'll have global leaders with the great patience and good attitude and behavior and with good morals, ethics. These are important. Then only we can have great peace in the society, in the community, in the nation, and throughout the globe. So really, I liked your the way you want to carry it to every nation, so that younger generation, if they are educated, definitely they become global leaders who can focus on their respective nations and as well on the globe. So definitely, total globe will be with great peace. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am. Thank you. Excellency.
Thank you so much, you too.
Anita Raj ma'am, anything from your side? Or we can go for vote of thanks. Okay, thank you. I request His Excellency Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham sir to please switch on video for a few minutes so that we can go for vote of thanks, sir. But anyway, let's start with His Excellency Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham sir. He is the chief guest of this program, and all our chief guests are here. So let's start vote of thanks for the first session so that we can invite the second session speakers, because it's already 9:38, 10 minutes exceeded. Actually, every day we are inviting 9 to 10 speakers. Sir, please switch on the video, sir, so that we can take you into this. Sir, Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham, sir. Okay. So just today, we are happy with 4 pillars. Actually, every day it would be 8 or 9 in number, but today we thought of it's not about numbers. It's about the people. That's what we decided. Then the first pillar, Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham, sir, a former VC, having his presence on this special occasion, really we are honored and blessed. The moment he accepts, because whoever starts the program every day, it's been 16 days, whoever starts the program, he decides in which way the flow has to go. So really, Sir has given a commendable, beautiful a pilgrimage to peace with the title, a strong foundation to this program. So on that foundation, as a part of our duty every day we are doing, we have built a beautiful castle. Thank you so much, sir, because we can say that first of all, your presence, because people presence make the power, because Veronica ma'am, that's what the change. So when she appeared, she has injected so much power to the screen. The same way Brigadier Dr. V.D. Abraham, sir, the moment he appeared on the screen.
Much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Because Sir is the first one who joined in, and I got some sure Sir joined first, and we are still preparing, because that is called a discipline and time punctuality, because they are army people. Then he became DC. So, sir, surely we carry your legacy, sir, and there are generations which will take you as an inspiration, because just by reading 1 or 2 of your interviews, really we got ignited, sir. So today, by seeing you, your presence and this program is blessed, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And coming to our second guest, actually, Veronica Seban ma'am is the second guest, but due to some technical problems, our number went 5th. Anyway, but in hierarchy, order of hierarchy, Her Excellency Veronica Seban ma'am from New Zealand. So, as I mentioned, a global leader. not just a global leader, but she is nurturing global leaders. So really, we need such leaders, because in the present scenario, we can see the clear, because they don't know where to spend money. That's a very pathetic situation. Priorities, the priorities are, so there should be a course on leadership, because priorities are very much important. So if you see the youngsters, for any nation, they are the gift, and they are becoming the enemies. So this is in both, something is happening. They are becoming a strength to the nation, or they are becoming, because they are marginalized. They are being marginalized. If you see, it may be lack of jobs, or it may be lack of opportunities, whatever it may be. So what Veronica, because she mentioned that she wanted to make millions of leaders, global leaders. So this is going to be a best solution, because there should be a course for leadership. We have so many courses. Of course, for leadership, there are some training programs are there, but training programs for whom? Whoever already become a great leaders, they are becoming greater. So really, whatever the initiatives that are taken by Veronica Sebar ma'am, certainly, Excellency, we always extend our support to you. Really, being a partner with you, it's a great blessing. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work, and please remember us in your journey, make us a part, and we do the great things in coming days. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. Then
thank you so much to you too. So it's a huge honor to supporting your platform and all the leaders that they have the necessity to grow as leaders globally. And if there are questions or any type of problems, we are here to talk about and to find solutions.
Sure, Excellency. Thank you so much. So David Ramjan sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Today you are a surprise back, because before even you present your speech, I am the one who studied your speech first. Early in the morning, he sent me the speech, and I have got goosebumps while it's reading, and while you are detailing every detail. That's so great, sir. Thank you so much. Because I have been searching for the people who are working on sustainability. The moment I found you, and the moment you accepted our invitation, we felt very happy, sir. So you have given a 360-degree solution to our problem, sir. You have put all, you have given a SWOT analysis, and you have given the problem and the base area and the solutions. The way you have done that research, really, that's so amazing, sir. I hope that has all come from your experience, but years of experience that did that job, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, because it's not paperwork. It's a complete purely your experience. That experience we can see in every word that you put in on the slides. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for gracing this program and making it grandeur with your great presentation, sir. Thank you so much.
It was indeed my pleasure. I'm very honored to have participated. Thank you for inviting me. I will say that when you first approached me, I felt as if I was not, qualified or experienced enough in the area to speak on it. But after giving it some thought, and you wouldn't believe that presentation came together in less than 4 hours. But after giving it some thought, I realized that we really need to look at it from all perspectives and see ourselves as being, part of the problem and part of the solution. As Einstein is famously quoted as saying that we cannot solve the problems we created with the same mindsets and actions that created them. So it's up to us. And I think this is really a good start. We're preaching to the converted here. I know that for a fact. So it really is about us getting the messages out to those who are not within earshot. We have to get this out to the world, not just in India, but everywhere and at all levels of society, because how many of those who are impoverished and suffer inequality and injustice have the ability to come into a Zoom meeting? Some of them don't even have power. Some of them don't have internet capabilities. They are busy with the daily toils and trying to stay alive. It is us, we are the ones who have to reach them. So it is only through concerted action and a genuine desire to really solve the problems. And it doesn't happen in English, it doesn't happen in Hindi, it doesn't happen in German, it doesn't happen in French. we have to speak all languages. Yeah, and it's a language of love that will get us through. So thank you very much for the opportunity. And, I wish you all the best for the rest of your sessions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so great. It means a lot, sir. So coming to our final guest of this day, Dr. Maria Ian, ma'am. You inspire people in different ways. But actually, in my first impression is in our recent meeting, I think you are more of a boss. More of your boss. That's what my feeling. But after presentation, you are more of your mother. Really, we have seen your compassion. We have seen your humanity. We have seen your charity in every word spoken by you. Because people search for the peace all over the world, into the skies, into the space, or into the oceans. But they never ever go into their mind. So you said that peace, everything is here. And in Endgame movie, we have to went into the micro world. Something like you have done a fabulous journey into our minds, and inner peace is here. And the moment I read Align Your Souls, what sort of organization is this? Is there anything like that? That's what my feeling. But you have shown why should we align our souls. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. Because peace is individual responsibility. If we have, as an individual, if we have peace, Hitler was, as a child, he was abused. He lost his peace, he caused the Second World War. So it's an individual responsibility. An individual can protect or an individual can destroy. So thank you, Excellency, for taking us into inner world for in search of inner peace. That's so great. We are honored and humbled to have your presence as a chief guest on this special day. And I want to mention my friend, RKDX Talks, my friend Das, Dr. Das is here as a honorable guest. He has joined. Thank you, my dear brother. So with all these galaxy of visionaries, actually, usually we have galaxy of stars, but this day is the special. We have galaxy of visionaries. With all these galaxy of visionaries, the 16th day, first session is going to be concluded with a happy and educative note. And with this, I conclude this first session, and we'll start inviting our second session guests. Thank you, Dr. Antaraj, ma'am, for standing as a pillar to this first session. Thank you so much. As usual, you have done a fabulous job. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
So I request all the second session speakers, please be ready. We are moving ahead to second session. First, we'll start with our young star, Manat Parkal Arneja. I request Manat, the youngest speaker, dynamic speaker, you give some vibration to the second session, then I invite all the speakers. Over to Manat.
Thank you so much, sir. Greetings from the land of diversity, India, to all the dignified and respectable speakers present here live at World Peace Summit 2023 from different zones of the world. Myself, International Youth Ambassador Manat Parkal Arneja. I am the youngest Speak Up Champion certified TED speaker, international storyteller, and published author. It's an esteemed privilege to be here at Day 16 to discuss on peace and SDG 16. My heartfelt gratitude to Raja Rao sir for having me here. Goal 16 of the Sustainable Development Goals is dedicated to the promotion of peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, the provision of access to justice for all, and building effective, accountable institutions at all levels to promote peaceful societies at national level as well as the role of cooperation at the international level. People everywhere should be free of fear from all forms of violence and feel safe as they go about their lives, whatever their ethnicity, faith, or sexual orientation. High levels of armed violence and insecurity have a destructive impact on a country's development. There is conflict or no rule of law government. Civil society and communities need to work together to find lasting solutions to conflict and insecurity. strengthening the rule of law and promoting human rights is key to this process, as is reducing the flow of illicit arms, combating corruption, and ensuring inclusive participation of all types. Strengthened institutions, rule of law, and enforcement contribute to support the implementation of multilateral environmental agreements and progress towards internationally agreed global environmental goals. A better understanding of the links between environment and human security is vital for effective conflict prevention, post-conflict reconstruction, and promotion of peaceful and inclusive societies. In the past 60 years, 40% of conflicts have been tied to natural resources, and these are twice as likely to relapse into conflict within the first 5 years. Big question is what we can do to achieve SDG 16. Compassion and a strong moral compass is essential to every democratic society. Yet, persecution, injustice, and abuse still runs rampant and is steering at the very fabric of civilization. We must ensure that we have strong institutions, global standards of justice, and a commitment to peace everywhere for building capacity at all levels, in particular in development countries, and to prevent violence and combat terrorism and crime. The SDG 16 provides a global overview of progress on the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Using the latest available data and estimates, it tracks the global and regional progress towards the 17 goals with in-depth analysis of selected indicators for each goal. Cascading and intellect crises are putting sustainable development in grave danger, along with humanity's very own survival. The report highlights the severity and magnitude of the challenges. The confluence of crises dominated by COVID-19, climate change, and conflict are creating spin-off impacts in food and nutrition, health, education, and the environment, and peace and security, and affecting all SDGs. The report details the reversal of years of progress in eradicating poverty and hunger, improving health and education, providing basic services, and much more. It also points out areas that need urgent action in order to rescue the SDGs and deliver meaningful progress of people and the planet by 2030. Lastly, would say we must rise higher to rescue the Sustainable Development Goals and stay true to our promise of a world of peace, dignity, and prosperity on a healthy planet. Thank you.
Hi, Master Blaster. You have done a fantastic job. Strengthy, welcome to second session. Good job. Manab, keep it up. And now I invite Alma Delia from Mexico. Her Excellency Alma Delia from Mexico. Over to you.
Hi. Good evening. It is an honor to share with you the following message.
There may be technical problem. Amlesh Pandey ji, over to you. We request Amlesh Pandey ji to take hello. Can you please switch on your audio, brother?
Okay.
One second, dear brother. Wait. Sorry.
Okay, continue it.
Yes, please continue.
Okay. This declaration establishes that the right of people and individual to peace and international security is an essential element for the exercise of other human rights and fundamental freedoms. Peace is recognized as a universal value, must be promoted and preserved by all possible means, and it establishes that states have the obligation to respect, protect, and promote the right to peace. In addition, it is affirmed that the realization of peace requires the elimination of all forms of discrimination, intolerance, racism, sexism, and xenophobia, as well
Excellency, your audio is muted. Recheck it. Almaji. Almaji, your audio is muted.
of December 10, 1948. Considers that freedom, justice, and peace in the world are based on the recognition of the intrinsic dignity and the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family, as well as the Declaration on the Right of People to Peace. Recognize the right as fundamental and essential for the exercise of other human rights and fundamental freedoms. Peace is not only the absence of violence, but also the presence of justice, equality, and respect for human rights. To archive true and lasting peace, we must work together to archive the sustainable development goals, promoting equality, inclusion, and environmental sustainability. This means ensure that our people have access to quality-based service such as education, health, and employment, and their human rights are respected without any discrimination. Only through cooperation and dialogue can be built and just a peaceful society for all. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights defines peace as a state of social tranquility in which human rights and fundamental freedoms are respected, and in which people can live without fears of violence, repression, or discrimination. For the core peace is not only the essence of our conflicts, but also implies the peaceful resolution of conflicts through dialogue and negotiations, the promotion of justice and equality, and the elimination of all forms of violence and discrimination. Peace is a universal aspiration with deep human roots. It is an aspiration founded on an idea common to all members of the human species. It constitutes a value and principle and an objectives, just as dignity is an inherent element of the human personality of all individuals, just as all human rights are the common and inalienable patrimonio of our people. The idea of peace and the need for its realizations nest in the mind and heart of all human beings. The Inter-American Court of Human Rights considers that the construction of peace implies the promotion and protection of human rights, as well as the implementation of public policies and concrete measures that address the structural cause of violence and social exclusion. They include protecting and strengthening freedom of associations and expression, promoting the active and meaningful participation of civil society in decision making and promoting support to civil society organizations working to promote and protect human rights. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Excellency. Thank you for joining from Mexico and representing your speech and representing your nation. Thank you. Thank you so much. I invite Dr. Amlesh Pandeyji, founder, Global Research Foundation. Over to you, my dear brother.
Okay, thank you, sir. And I'm highly thankful to you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to share some my views on this SDG 16. And one of my friend, Professor Nada Ratkovic, is here. And so I'm so glad to see you here. And I also welcome all of you. And I think some of speakers know me very well. So today I would like to start in strong institutions of governance are necessary for the sustainable prosperity. It is widely accepted that the strong institutions of governance are vital to prosperous society. The goal 16 of the Sustainable Development Goals is peace, justice, and strong institutions. Clearly, strong institutions of governance are prerequisites for the society to move towards sustainable prosperity and all goals. Strong institutions can predict future prosperity. Here I had pointed to the strong correlations between sound policy and prosperity. In a policy research working paper on the World Bank published in June 2001, the regulation of entry June 2001 that World Bank found countries with lighter but more effective regulations regarding entry of new firms, has low corruption, and provided better quality goods and services. We can argue that this is extended to the other aspect of governance, and further that the only strong institutions can regulate in a manner that on the one hand we have the necessary regulatory framework for orderly conduct, and on the other hand rent-seeking opportunity are minimized. If we can create a scale to measure the institutional strength, we would be able to predict how successful these institutions will be in fulfilling their roles, provide valuable feedback to the institutions of governance, and compare across the institutions and economies, which is in turn will motivate them to improve. The question is that arises from such a scale is what the characteristics of a strong institution of governance. That is, a little literature review reveals that there are at least 4 desirable characteristics. They are widely acknowledged to be important for the strong institutions that are responsible for the governance. Governed by the rules. That means the rules that govern strong institutions are drafted and reviewed by the people who are known domain experts. The power that the rules on the institutions are expected to be observed equally for all citizens and without there being special privilege to anyone who is politically or otherwise influential. And the second thing is accountable. The institution has a body that provides it with the oversight and guidance. For example, a committee of houses, a committee of elders. This body is expected to comprise of the competent members who periodically review the performance of the institution. And the third one is responsive. The institution is expected to introduce the rules and take the decision for public good in the responsive and prompt manner. It is institutional mechanism should ensure that the deliberations, discussion, and independent review of the rules decisions take place in a time-bound manner. And the fourth one is transparent. The institution is expected to provide easy access to the review reports, summary of feedbacks, and grievances received, and the action taken on the house. It should provide easy access to its all people. In the modern times, it should have an updated and comprehensive website. These four factors present above above many appear obvious, but how many institutions of governance in nations far and wide can stay to security even on them? There is a need to benchmark best practices for the institutions that govern nations. This is an area for economists to work on. Is a strong institution of governance provide the foundation for other economic variables to pay out in manner they desire. So, sir,
Thank you,
thank
dear
you.
brother. Thank you.
Thank you
So much.
so much.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Dr. Leena Patel from UK. I request Dr. Leena Patel from UK.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Good evening, Excellency. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing great. Actually, I've just landed India back to from UK yesterday only. Sorry for the delays, guys. Greetings of the evening to everyone. I just wish to say that nowadays we are in the danger black zone of Kali Yuga. You can say that the peace is the central idea to uplift the concept of peace across the globe. When we start talking about the peace, it starts from our thoughts first, whether they are positive or negative. They turn into our words, and words turn into our behaviors. So ultimately, the behavior is the clear cut mirror image of your thoughts. So, what we feel is that peace is not a topic of about the words only, but it is the profound thought and profound feeling in the heart and the soul, which is eternal desire for every human, and from every humanity ends we can see and we can scroll. So what is my feeling up to the productions of the we are today, I have heard so many eminent speakers, chief guests, and I'm thoroughly practically highly ignited today that still people are struggling on this high level to establish the peace in even educated communities. And that is the era where we need to establish this approach of living that is called art of living. And this art of living starts with the positivity and ends with the divinity. So for achieving this divinity inside us all, we just need the positive thoughts, positive aura, and this kind of ignited mindsets who are constantly trying strive out to results of the peace, for the peace, and from the peace. Right now, we are becoming the witnesses of the wars. We are becoming the witnesses of the, we can say the, negative emotions of the humans like that greed, selfishness, jealousy, arrogance. So everywhere there is a chaos, everywhere there is a violence. But yes, same like the, we can say the flower of lotus, we can grow even though there is a murder around. So, what is the concept of the peace is that to establish the worldwide peace, we need to start just from the individuality. An individual human being can do a lot of things without any limits. I mean, to say we are those human beings who believe constantly that we are limitless and we are literally unstoppable, that nobody can stop our feelings of the peace and those divinity platforms to share with the people, right? So every country badly needs and sick, but at the coin side, every country is also trying level best to establish global peace as well. Other than that, I just talked about the peace. I wouldn't take too much time, Raja sir. But yes, this is a constant war between positivity and the negativity, we can say. But yes, those who are born as a human, we all are humans, we are luckily blessed that we are, aren't we born as animals, insects, and the birds? We are the humans. So the first blessing of the morning, that we are born as a human and we are still alive to wake up, we are able to wake up our eyes, and that is the blessing. From that moment, while from that to sleep at the night, that what I did do, what I did yesterday, today, how did I do? Not only what did I do, how did I do previous hours? And that is the journey of art of living, where from where we can ignite the peace, and we can transform the people's lifestyles towards the peace. That I agree that in violence nobody is in that level, that they are not literally ready to listen to you. If you are even shouting or just slowly speaking, they are not ready to listen. That they say, "Oh, no, 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 you just don't talk about the peace, show us the peace." And for that we have to balance our state, city, national, international level of economic platforms to be great. Our socialism is to be great, because nowadays society is not a society, is a hypocrite society, and society has become, I openly say the truth and the burning facts of the mankind nowadays, that out of 100% people, we will not find the humans with the humanity, even 1%. And that is the challenge to all of us, that how can we still lead these communities towards the peace? And there is no, you can say, bifurcation. There is no any casteism, no any religious based wars. Nothing is, we can say, required for the peace. You just need to be spiritual. Forget that what is your religion, just express your humanity. If it is there, it will be shining, nothing else to worry. But yes, we are living in this black era where we are constantly trying. But yes, one day we all will win. And I appreciate personally this noble initiative from Raja Rao sir. And I'm happy to receive this invitation as an eminent speaker at this World Peace Summit. And congratulations to all of you there for the constant try from 1st to 18 or May. And this is literally the rocking May of 2023, where we all are trying level best to make the whole mankind lead towards the eternal peace, not only from the mind, but from every single actions from day to night. That's it. That is my concern. And thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. God bless us all. Thank you.
Leena ji, fire. You are fire. Fire's the fire. And you did done. Thank you so much for igniting for a few minutes. I invite my friend Amir Ali, director of UNPKFC, Pakistan, who is spreading peace message to the globe. Dear brother, welcome to Stage Yours.
Hello. My voice is audible, sir.
Okay, brother.
Okay.
It's audible.
Okay.
You please some volume up, if possible.
Okay.
There is some low volume.
Yes.
Let's continue.
Okay. This is Amir Ali Mar. I am a youth peace ambassador in UNPKFC in Pakistan. And I am representing UNPKFC Thailand headquarter. I represent my country. So I am very thankful to the Sir Raja Rao for giving to me this opportunity to speak about the SDG 16. SDG 16 is a promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to the justice for the all, and build to effective accountability and inclusive the institution at all the levels. First of all, we know that about the peace. If you want to work for the justice, you work for the first peace. If you want to make a strong institution or spread peace, spread justice, you must know about that yourself. If you will positive, if you spread the peace, if you see the justice, and to make a strong institution. So progress promoting peace and justice together with effectively accountable, inclusive institute remain uneven across the world. While some religion enjoys sustained level of the peace, security, and prosperity, others fell into the seemingly endless cycle of the conflict and violence, sexual violence, crime, exploration, torture are also prevalent where there is a conflict or no rule of law, and countries must take in measure to protect those who are most at the risk. And sometime in our society, there is lots of no justice. Like sometime we are fighting about this caste. Sometimes we fight for the religion. Sometimes we fight for our colors. Sometimes we fight for the many things. We must work for the justice and make a strong connection and make a strong institution. Because first is a step that we have live peacefully, then we will work, and we have accountability, means no corruption. If someone takes something wrong, the all society come together and to make sustainable society. If you want to make sustainable society, you must show the peace, and these are the everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use these 12 targets to create action to promote peace and justice. There are the targets about the SDG 16, peace, justice, and a strong institution. Number 1 is the reduce violence everywhere. Significant reduce all the form of the violence and the related death rate everywhere. Second is the protect children from the abuse, exploration, trafficking, and the violence. And number 3 is promote the rules of the law and ensure equal access to the justice. Combat organization crime and illicit financial and arms follows. Sustainability, reduce corruption and bribery. Develop effective, accountable, and transparent institution. Ensure responsible, inclusive, and representative decision to making. These are the target about the SDG 16. Okay, sir.
Okay, brother.
Yes.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Jeljiko Javanak from Croatia. Jeljiko Javanak from Croatia.
Hello.
Over to you, Excellency.
Hello, everyone. Yes, thank you. Thank you for this honor to be part of this great event. So the SDG 16 is justice and peace as a strong institution. In the world, these institutions are very fragile, and their values need to be built in the society with the help of political and economic institutions. So the state government needs to work on building these two institutions for a better and more human world. And of course, children are our treasures. They are our future, so we must present to them that the world cannot survive if we look only at ourselves and not at others in our lives and environment. The role of us as a teachers in a building citizens aware students is extremely important. According to Abraham Maslow's theory, basic human needs are for security and satisfaction of psychological needs, and only after they have been met can one strive to satisfy the more complex, such as the need for self-realizations. So the society in which there is no peace and justice and no strong institutions aimed at protecting vulnerable groups, security of citizens, and the fight against corruptions and crime, so cannot ensure the individual's primary need for security, and thus take steps to meet other goals of sustainable development. Within Goal 16, 10 and sub-goals have been defined: reduce violence, protect children from abuse, exploitations, trafficking, and violence, promote the rule of law, ensure equal access to justice. So fight organized crime and illicit financial flows and weapons, significantly reduce corruption as bribery, develop affections, and etc. How do we protect peace, justice, and strong institutions? So the legal system in the world today, as throughout history, are based on civil, customary, and religious law. Also, the people of some regions live in peace and prosperity, but there are still many wars in the world, on the world level, insecurity and fear, and in some countries, fear legal systems have not been established. Even with a cursory glance and daily news, we become aware of conflicts and violations of basic human rights. So we have to protect peace and justice as a strong institutions, only of one of us. So thank you for this opportunity. That's all for me.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. I request Sonatan Ghosh, Director of English Institute. Are you there, brother? Sonatan Ghosh? I request we'll end up program in 10 minutes. Sonatan Ghosh, Director of English Institute.
Hello,
yes,
sir.
dear. Over to you, brother.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible perfectly.
Today, here network is very weak, so I was trying to connect from 8 p.m., but now I am connected. Thank you, Rajarao sir, for giving me the opportunity to be here, and all the honorable person presented here. And my mentor, Professor Nadar Tuvik, is here. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Rajarao ma'am, for inviting me here. Today, network is so weak. I can't hear clearly. Also, I can't talk clearly. Network very weak today. Just I'm trying to say something in few minutes. SDG 16 aims to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice to all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Peace, stability, human rights, and effective governance based on the rule of law are central to the realization of child rights and prerequisite for sustainable development. Governments can offer the first line of protection, but birth registration systems gives children time to vital society services. Equitable justice system and other forms of child protection. No child should ever be exposed to violence. Yet globally, millions of children continue to face violence in their homes, schools, communities, and online. So everywhere we should maintain some discipline so that we can achieve or establish this or strong institution. So I think, hello.
Yes, please continue, brother. Please continue. But your voice is not audible. There is some internet problem from your side, brother.
Hello.
Now it's audible. Continue, please.
Hello. Sorry, sir, I can't continue. I think network is so weak. Hello. So I don't want. Hello.
Yes, please continue, brother. Continue.
Hello.
Don't stop. Okay, there may be some signal problem. I think
there is
the
problem,
speakers...
sir. So I don't want to disturb. So continue without me.
Okay.
I don't want to disturb this.
એને ગમે ને એવું તમે બોલો ન બોલો
Yes. Jakarta Coffee. Jakarta Coffee. Will you share your ideas on peace, brother? Right. So, we are about to conclude our program. I request, before I say a vote of thanks, I request Professor Dr. B.J. Carolyn ma'am for concluding remarks. As we mentioned earlier, Kofi, will you speak or not? You are the last speaker.
No, sir.
Okay. Professor Dr. B.J. Carolyn ma'am, I request Professor Dr. B.J. Carolyn ma'am for introductory remarks so that we can conclude this program.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, today's topic is so excellent. Every speaker spoke well, and we have taken so many takeaways and insights and views. Everything is so appreciable. We do have, I would like to say about our organization that we believe that peace should start individually, and it has to be expanded to the family, to the society, to the nation. So what we have done that there are two organizations under the umbrella of Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council. One is the Telangana Kala Parishad. Telangana Kala Parishad mainly focused on cultural diversity. It has showcased the diversity where we believe unity. That is, cultural diversity can bring harmonious relationship between the states of different cultures. So we have conducted various physical programs, and we have united the different states of our nation, and we have tried our best level to attain peace in the minds of the people with different cultures. So we have conducted the programs to understand that there is unity in diversity. So in this way, we have tried our best level to attain peace in the minds of the different cultured people in our country. So we have done the activities at our level to support peace. And the second one is during COVID time, the migrant workers faced a lot of trauma moving from urban area to the native places. And during that time, many people also died. And that because of there is no transportation, they have to walk miles together without proper water, food. At that time, Telangana Kala Parishad, which is led by Dr. Rajarao, taken the issues, burning problems of the migrant workers to the government of India, and India responded positively and seen that they moved to their native places. If one migrant worker with a lot of depression, unrest, that is going to cause a great problem in the society, in the communities, in the nation. So we tried our best level to gain peace in the minds of the migrant workers. They joined their families and able to lead a peaceful life. And that has expanded peace in the community of their areas. And as well, the farmers, as we believe that India is mainly agricultural country, and we mainly rely on farmers. And farmers are also in unrest, and many committed suicide. And immediately, Telangana Kala Parishad, under the umbrella of Vishwa Humanity, taken the problems, the burning issues where the seeds are very high for them. As they meet the demands of the growing population, they have to produce a lot of food. That developed a lot of pressure in the minds of the farmers, and because of the financial lackness. That during that time, Telangana Kala Parishad shown solidarity and taken the burning issues to the government. And we are able to help the farmers to have a peace in their mind. And that peace will be carried to their families, to the community. Because if one farmer commits suicide, the total family will be on the roads. So in this way, we supported the farmers. So the migrant workers who are weak community in our India, and the farmers who strengthen India, and the cultural diversity, which brings a great unity in the minds of the society, we tried our best level to attain peace And in this way, we have taken up the programs, physical programs, to support the community and to have a peaceful life in the society. The other organization under Vishwa Humanity is the Life Foundation that mainly addressed the issues, the burning issues of the slums. We have adopted 55 acres of slum with the full of underprivileged community, a lot of burning problems. That is, we notice rape cases, that is 2 rape cases are committed in the slums. They were brutally raped and killed. They are just age of 6 and 8 years. You can understand the pathetic situation of the family who lost their young children. So that leads to unrest. A lot of pressure will be developed, and they may create any kind of violence in the area. So we want to address the issues of the underprivileged community. And as well, we noticed men are dragged with the bad habits. The environment is very much filthy with drug addicted, rapist, and alcoholic. So we tried our best level to take on so many awareness programs in the slums. We try that men will not be addicted to the bad habits. They need to take up the family. But especially men did not heed to our programs because they were addicted much, and a lot more time is required to transform them. But women, grandparents of the small kids, they have transformed and they attended our programs. Whenever we conduct physical programs, they attend and listen to us and they implement in the family. In this way, we try to best level to attain peace in the families of the slums. As well, we address the problems of the servant maids. We noticed that they have a lot of financial lackness in the families. We supported them through that is providing good commodities, provisions, blankets during winter, quilts, and also slum people, 55 acres of slums, we provided during COVID time the provisions. And every month I go to the slums and notice, I observe the families, is still any burning problem is there? Still are they suffering? I try my best level to solve the problems of these slums by providing provisions and quilts, blankets, saris, and also I provide every month once meal to the slums people at my level, at our level. We are trying our best level to meet the problems. And the other thing is the girls and boys. I want to see that gender equality is observed in the slums. So we want to educate younger generation, especially the girls and boys moving in the slums freely, and they're falling prey to the sexual desired people. So we notice a lot of domestic violence, sexual harassment in the slums. We addressed them and we conducted so many awareness programs to make them understand the importance of to lead a peaceful life and happy life. So we have started educational centers in the slums, especially the evening time is very filthy and horrible in the slum. We don't want the younger children fallen prey to the bad addicted people. So we started this educational centers in the slum, and we are taking up so many training sessions, and we're educating the girl children, boy children equally. Now the strength has been increased enormously. With 30 students, it moved to 150, and we started recently the 4th center, which is going to open in the month of June. We are taking up the admissions. So in this way, as we believe that younger children, as the future citizens of the nation, they need not to be unrest. If they are unhappy and depressed and oppressed, that will be carried to the community, and the total nation will be in distress. So I tried our best level to attain peace in the minds of the especially underprivileged community. So through education, we want to empower them. And we have taken up the skill training, and also we are teaching them how to protect themselves from the sexual harassed people or from the stalkers. And we want to empower the women of the underprivileged. We have set up the training center, free tailoring centers, and training the women to support their family financially. And now 30 women have trained and they started their own tailoring center. And we are going to establish other vocational training centers in the slums to empower women of the slums and the servant maids. In this way, what we believe, we tried our best level to implement through Vishwa Humanity United International Royal Council to attain peace in the minds of the individual that will be carried to the total nations. We want our nation to be peaceful. And because if the natural resources are not distributed equally, if there is no gender equality, if there is illiteracy, a lot of unrest will be there. That leads to chaos, havoc and chaos in the minds of the society that causes war conflicts. So especially during war conflicts, that women and children will be affected badly. So there is a good example in India that water scarcity led to the conflict between two states. So every simple unrest in one family in one state that leads to nation, then globally. So we believe that in the globe is Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. We want our state, our nations, our globe to be very peaceful. So we are trying our best level to address the burning issues and problems to have great peace individually and through, to the nation and globally. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's really an inspiring concluding remarks, because we are thinking that we have missed that inauguration part with your introduction. But anyway, in the end, you have included it in that concluding part. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, basically, I do the work with representation. I give representation to the state. I will give or send to chief ministers, governors, ministers, president, prime minister. I will do in that way. And when it was under Telangana Kala Parishad, and I did many campaign physically, but Professor Dr. Vijay Kalin ma'am under the Life Foundation, she has been doing commendable job. Really, sometimes I feel shocked how she do this work, because apart from all her, as a professor, she is doing already one part and this one part and Royal Council. So in many domains, a woman leading this really so amazing, and we have to appreciate all her wonderful work. I request Veronica ma'am, say bye to all our audience, because it's a blessing to this program, because all are very happy. Actually, they have to leave when they end, but it's not happening because of you, because of your presence. If you say bye, they all feel happy. Just say 2 or 3 words about our second session, upcoming speakers. Audio excellency.
I am audible now.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, so I want to thank you to all of you for your attention, and especially to the organizer for organizing such meaningful event and summit, which all of us, in my opinion, needs to learn and also to contribute to the changement of the world. And as I mentioned it, so during my speech, we need to educate leaders. So thank you so much for considering me as a global leader and for having me on your platform. So blessings to all of you, and then to the next summit.
Thank you so much, Excellency. Dr. Maria ma'am, Her Excellency, over to you.
You want my comments?
Yes.
Yes. I just you know, I know you and I had a conversation just very recently, and I just want to emphasize the importance of budgets and money to all of our message, right? Because you're saying you want to increase awareness of children in schools. You want to increase awareness of you know, high-level decision makers, right? And the reason why that's not happening is because there are financial interests attached to those things that, you know, others don't like. And I know it's a very harsh statement, including if you tell that to a child, but it's the truth, right? So whenever we start engage in such a movement, we need to have a budget, and we need to have some, you know, forward planning where we can be more or less certain we are going to be able to implement the steps that we set ourselves to implement without, you know, having conflicts and things that we don't understand with the institutions where we may go, right? So if there's a lot of budgetary stuff involved that nobody has really, you know, mentioned, but I just want to emphasize that.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful.
Yes.
And you both made this day so beautiful in an inspirational way. So thank you, Excellencies. Thank you so much from India.
Thank you so much for creating a such meaningful summit.
So, Anita Raju ma'am, thank you so much for chairing this beautiful event. Always, you will do a beautiful job, and this time you have done a fantastic job. Thank you, Anita Raju ma'am. It's an honor to have your presence as chair.
Thank you so much, sir.
Next, Alma Delia ma'am from Mexico. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the beautiful presentation. You are so sweet and so humble. Thank you. We loved your presentation, ma'am. Thank you so much. Shunal brother, thank you for joining. And as every day you support us, thank you for supporting us. Thank you, dear brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ambassador Dr. Stephen G. Thank you so much. Geeta ma'am, it's the 16th day. 16th, good evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Amir Ali brother, thank you for joining from Pakistan and giving a peace message to all. Really, we are honored, brother. Thank you so much. And Archana Priyadarshini ma'am, please accept my 16th good evening.
Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful insights from all the speakers. Excellent.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We are doing it a beautiful journey. Thank you so much. My dear brother Sonathan Ghosh, thank you, dear brother, for joining, and thank you for the beautiful speech.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Sir, David, sir, still you are there. David Ramjan, sir, thank you so much for staying till the end. We are honored, sir. We are honored. If you listen to our second session speakers, we are so honored, sir, because they are upcoming leaders. We have to encourage us. Thank you for staying. I think. Thank you. Thank you for staying till the end, sir. Thank you so much. So, I thank Poonam Goti ma'am. Poonam Goti ma'am, please accept our thanks. Thank you for joining. It's a 60th day. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Professor. Thank you, ma'am. Professor Mike, thank you. Thank you so much. Our journey is so beautiful, brother. Thank you for supporting us. Professor Nada, I think you have to be here. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Nada.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
sir.
Thank you so much, Mike. Nada ji, we thought that we were missing you.
Do you hear me? I don't know why. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because we are thinking that we are missing you, but you are somewhere doing some work. Because we can see your presence on some platform doing some work for Globe. Thank you, Excellency Nadaji. Thank you for joining and thank you for supporting. So, Srikant Kalukar, sir, one more day, sir. We have succeeded in spite of all the struggles that you have these days due to ill health. But still you are supporting, sir. Srikant Kalukar, sir, are you there?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Now you have become powerful, sir.
Yeah. I have recovered. After surgery.
Oh, so great, sir. So great. So great. Thank you, sir. So, with such a beautiful souls, we have such beautiful hearts, we have compassionate people, humanitarian people. So, inspiring people, igniting people. Above all, these are all positive people. Because every one of us, every one of you, every day thinking of this program to welcome and to say goodbye. So every day you are staying with us till the end. Thank you, Excellencies. Thank you so much. So with this note, tomorrow we have Galaxy of Visionaries again, because it is the 17th day. So with a great fervor and with a great energy, let's welcome World Peace Summit 17th day. With that note, we conclude the beautiful inspirational day of World Peace Summit 16th day, Sustainable Development Goals 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions, a grand success.